All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praise and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone, rule one, touch the truth. Peace and salutations to the whole elect scattered abroad doing this work of truth and sincerity. I say shalom. And this is just a quick lesson, man. Inspired, really just talking to an Edomite at work today, man. He was just going into when I looked up, it's actually, something that came out a while ago. But he was going into, I guess he had just learned it, and I had just learned it from him. So it was just something new that I didn't know. But he was just going into, which we already know, before I actually go into it, which we already know, man. Which the brother Spirit, one of Levi from GMS camp, the elder, he always going into it, man. How we're under attack, not only spiritually, by spiritual demon Satan, and being attacked, from Esau through all angles, man. We're being attacked through, again, through the music, this culture, this black culture, these different philosophies, these different doctrines, these different ways of life. But not only that, the food, man, the processed food, the GMOs, the pollution of the air, the pollution of the water, but mainly these foods, man, because Esau knows through the curses that we'll have to come to him for everything, man, that he's the head and we're the tail. So, we have to come to Esau for a lend for everything, man. Whether that's water, food, shelter, any type of resource, we have to go to our enemies for it. And Esau know these things, man. So they're in a power, in the seat of power, to where they control what they give out, And again, we're in captivity. So just how they did in the old days, if they want to throw us the leftovers, the pig slop or whatever, that's what they do, man. They still do that, but now they do it in craftiness, man. Because like you see now, we're going into it. Like the Edomite was saying, the cream and the Oreos, which a lot of people like to eat, and they let their kids eat, which many people have eaten Oreos, that cream, it's addictive as cocaine and morphine, man. And Edomites, they did a damn lab test on it with rats, man. So the studies just show, these high fruit, I say high fruit, so like these high sugar, high fructose, corn syrup, and all these different foods, man. These processed foods, it's an attack on Jake, man. It's an attack on Israel, man, because they feed a lot of this stuff to our people, man. A lot of our people are the ones addicted to it, man. Of course, everybody eats, Oreos and different things of that nature. But a lot of these processed foods are put, in the markets where we shop at, man. Markets like Sam's Club and other markets around, Babylon, some of them you got to have memberships to get in, And these people, Esau know Jake not going to go get a membership. The grocery shopping, that's too much for Jake, man. Jake love being convenient. They like what's easy. But the point being at hand, man, just going into how Esau is a cunning hunter. And this goes all the way back to Jacob and Esau, man. Esau was always that cunning hunter, man. And actually, let's grab that. I got it pulled up. So this is cunning definition. It says having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit or evasion. It says attractive or quaint. So Esau, he shows that skill. He's very skilled, in being a hunter by deceit, man. By what? Deceiving the people, man. By having things to be persuaded as healthy, or good for you, such as these damn drinks like Gatorade, all these damn high sugar ass drinks with corn syrup in them, with all kind of damn preservatives and fucking preservatives all in the damn food, all kind of different toxins, man, and fucking chemicals Esau shooting in these damn foods, man. But he's persuading it, he's being deceitful by making it seem as it's good, man. Or it's a quick, easy, nice little treat. When the shit is unhealthy, it's killing you inside, man. It's killing your damn insides, man. That's why people are the number one, in heart attacks, being obese, man. High blood sugar, people, and Jake, like I said, diabetes running my family, man. So you got diabetes with high blood pressure, man. These things, man, strokes, heart attacks, man. Because people, Jake out here eating all this, ultimately Esau, he giving us all these damn processed foods, man. But let's touch on the article a little bit. We got a few precepts we'll get into, man. So this is a CBS News article, and this is, it goes all the way back to October 16th of 2013, man. You know, it's crazy. I was what? I was 12 at the time. Just to give a little bit of my age. Neither here nor there though. But this is it says, let's go into it. It's a few points I wanted to touch on, man. And we'll read like it says right here, we'll just read a little bit of it. It says, wonder why it's so hard to stop eating Oreos once you're taking that first bite. You know, and it says a study suggests that shows that America's favorite cookie is just as addictive as cocaine or morphine, man. You know, and it says at least in lab rats. But Esau, he's done many tests and studies to know the same way it is in these lab rats and these different animals that they test, it's the same way it's going to be in humans, man. You know, and it says our research supports that the theory that high fat, high sugar foods stimulate the brain in the same way that drugs do. So Esau understand that the same way the drugs have effect on people, the same way these high fat, high sugar foods, they have that same stimulation, man, on the brain of the people, man. You know, so Esau is very crafty, man. You know, he's very cunning, man. You know, and we'll skip down a little bit, and it reads. It says said in the press release, and this is quoted. It says it may explain why some people can't resist these foods despite the fact that they know they are bad for them. You know, so it's just like people that's addicted to drugs, man. They know it's bad for them, but they can't stop doing it, man. Same way with these damn high processed, high fat, high sugar foods, man. You know, because Esau's put these damn addictives in them, man. You know, these things that you know, that make them addictive, man. That stimulate your brain the same way these drugs do, man. You know, through the foods, basically, man, Esau putting spirits on you, man. You know, Esau putting a damn spirit on you through his damn witchcraft and sorcery, man. And he's even doing that through the foods, man. That's how wicked this damn devil is, man. You know, again, that cunning hunter, man. He's a damn cunning hunter, man. You know, and high amount of fat and sugar. You know, it was just going into, I really didn't want to read all of this, you know, because I just wanted to get that point out. You know, it's not really much on the article, but it just goes into, if brothers want to go check it out, it's on the CBS News. And the title is, he says, Oreos may be as addictive as cocaine or morphine. But it was just going into, you know, how Esau basically did a damn, so like y'all see, let's get to the KJV. Esau did a damn, a test run on these damn lab rats, man. You know, to see how it react to the rats. You know, whether they gave them cocaine or morphine, and between the difference between the cream inside the Oreos, man, beside the cookies. You know, the two cookies they give you on the Oreos, man, the Oreo field, basically. And that's how you know Esau know these devils, they know what they doing, man. Because why are you running the test of the cream and morphine and cocaine if it wasn't anything in it that'll make it addictive, you know, or that'll stimulate your brain in that way? They won't even have to run that type of test, man. But these devils, they know, man. They know what the hell they doing. But basically, they run a test in a lab rat showed, you know, they came out with the same result whenever they ate that Oreo field as if they had took cocaine or morphine. And I think if you go back and read it, it just goes into how, you know, basically the Oreo cream stimulated them more. You know, it was more addictive. It was more, you know, it made them act a more certain way than the cocaine and the you know, or the morphine did, man. You know, so it shows that these damn processed foods are even worse, man. They're worse than cocaine, man. They're worse than damn morphine, man. You know, it's just crazy, man. You know, but it's Esau for you, man. But let's grab this Genesis, the classic, Genesis 25 and 27. Let's see, Genesis 25 or 27, and it read, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, and men of the field, and Jacob was plain, dwelling in tents, man. So going and just pulling that point, man, Esau was always that cunning hunter, man, a man of the field, man. You know, it said Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in the tents, man. So Esau has always been that cunning hunter, man. He's always been that deceiver, a devil, man. You know. But we're not ignorant of Esau's devices, man. You know, through the spirit and power, we have Bashmi Shah. And we're able to see these things and know and see the craftiness of Esau, man. You know, we're seeing the moves that this devil is making, man. Let's grab that. You know, I got many precepts Because I really just wanted to touch on that. But let's grab these few through the Spirit. So this is 2 Corinthians 2. And what is it? 11 So it says 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. You know, we understand what this devil is doing, man. We understand that, and like the scriptures tell you, like the brother I was going to grab that in Psalms, and that the wicked, he's watching the righteous and slay us, man. You know, we know this devil has many schemes to try to slay the righteous, man. To try to put the name of Israel in remembrance no more. The same way, they said in the ancient days, man. You know, they set out to put the name of Israel in remembrance no more, man. These devils has always been on a scheme or plot, of the downfall of the Israelites, man. Of Jake, man. You know. But through the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, we still standing tall, man. You know, we're overcoming everything this devil got to throw at us, man. You know, but nevertheless, man, Esau was that cunning hunter, man. You know. We'll start at 12. We'll read 12 and read down. Because like it says, Psalm 37 and 12, it says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, man. You know, because, the Lord, man, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, we see that this devil's day is coming. But what he's doing is what? He's plotting against the just, man. He's plotting against us, man. And like it said, it gnasheth upon him with his teeth, man. You know, he's trying to gnash upon us with his teeth, by what? Giving us these processed foods, these GMO foods, man. You know, by setting up liquor stores, pushing out that black culture, man. You know, the wickedness and all hell in Jake society, man, the black culture society, man. You know. But this is Psalm 37 to 32, skipping down. The wicked watch of the righteous to slay him and seek him to slay him. So again, 32, the wicked watch of the righteous and seek him to slay him, man. This devil watching us, man, is seeking to slay us, man. You know? And we know what the scriptures tell you. What they do, man, they said good for evil, evil for good. So they saying that good for evil, evil for good. They pushing it and putting it in our face, man. Again, through the foods, through the music, man. Through all type of philosophies, doctrines, man. The way of life, man. That's what this devil is doing, man. That cunning hunter, man. You know? But his point being made, man, was something just quick